All right. Looks like we're on. Hi, gang. My last video on my last race was the Super Power 5K. Don't know why I did that, but whatever. It felt right. Back in August, end of August, I signed up for the Superpower 5K. It takes place on the Toronto Island. Center Island is what I used to call it back in the day. And I just wanted to give you some of the highlights, the specs on this race. So maybe you could put it on your roster for next summer. And you know I hate summer running, but you know, if you want to get a goal and you want to do something fun, this is a good one to put on the list. So like I mentioned, it was back in August 28th. It was during the Fan Expo weekend in Toronto, and it takes place on the Toronto Island. So you have to get there on the ferry. And with your entry fee and your registration, you do get a ferry ticket with that. And you also get a pass to go to the opening day of the Fan Expo. And if you're into that sort of thing, it's a win-win. Because you have to take a ferry and it's right in the heart of downtown, I recommend taking the transit. I took the GO train. You could take the subway. There is parking, but again, like to make it easy peasy, you can just get off at Union Station and walk over. It takes less than 10 minutes. So, and it's heavily marked. It's very well organized. You pick up your race kit actually before you get on the ferry. Ferry takes about maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, slow moving, nothing to worry about. Most of it's in the open air. Kind of fun. So the race is a loop. They have a 5K and they have a 10K. I believe kids can go in it, but there isn't a separate 1K kids run that you often see at some of these events. Totally decked out, really cool finish line. Few places for you to take photos for the gram, like, because that's what we do, right? They also have volunteer stations throughout the route, as well as some really cool people in costume cheering you on at the finish and start lines. Because it's part of the Fan Expo, the extra highlight is that people do dress up. Some people dress up more hardcore than others, and for it to be the summer, all the power to you. I would die. I was dying in the shade, so. And I also tried to get myself into the spirit of things by getting myself a superhero shirt. I'm not going to tell you what it was because I still haven't received it. Not happy about it. So, like I said, there's a 5K, 10K. There's also a virtual option. I don't know why you would do that, but it's an option. And the charity of note is for the, I have to read it out because it's way too many words. It's the Holland Bloorview Kids Rehab Hospital. So it focuses on kids who have injuries and need rehabilitation for these injuries. There's probably more details in it, but that's very specific rehabilitation for children. In your race kit, you will get a really good t-shirt. It is a dry wicking t-shirt. I like it. It's a cool color. It's Superman blue. Can't go wrong. Also, you get this really cool, let me see if I can find it. So this is really hardcore hardware. This is what it looks like, and it looks like a comic book that you open up. Pretty cool. It looks like it's episode 4 or issue 4. At the end of the race, you get your usual snacks, and the route is a loop. It's fairly flat. I would say it's completely flat. Various terrain. I would say you get some pavements, some like lopsided pavements, some broken up pavements, mainly pavements, but the biggest obstacle of the entire route, and I've experienced this route before, for the longboat run, is the boardwalk of death. And it, of course, is at the very end of the race. It is a boardwalk with wood planks. Most of it is fairly flat, but you still need to watch your feet so you don't catch your foot and hit the deck, literally. And you are in full sun. To the left of you is going to be the sun in the water, and to the right of you is a wall of trees. It's completely dead and stagnant. You can go check that portion out in my footage. Volunteers at key points to tell you where to go and make sure that you don't take a wrong turn in Albuquerque. I'm aging myself. And time is also aging me. But I digress. They have cool highlights along the route besides the people. They have some inflatables. They had a unicorn section. They had some monsters. So really cool themes to break up everything. But the scenery on its own is really cool anyway. Improvements. Where I would improve here is that this year they decided not to do a bag check. And like I mentioned, you're on Toronto Island. I went there by myself, so I didn't have a bag person. That being said, I don't understand. We're talking about COVID was the reason, and really COVID isn't transferred by surfaces. We've kind of learned that by now. I don't know. I don't get the reasoning. Maybe they couldn't get the volunteers because of COVID. That would make more sense. But yeah, the bag check really needed to be there. Alternatively, it would have been nice to know that they had lockers on the island. I didn't know. I wouldn't know how much money it would cost. So that's what I would do to improve for next year. But they probably will have bag check next year. And as you can see on my video, I made up my own bag check. So that's it, the Superpower 5K. It was cool. I recommend it, and I think you'll have a great time. Thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you appreciate this content, feel free to leave a tip in the tip jar. Buy me a coffee. I like coffee. Check me out on my Instagram because what are you doing with your life? And we'll see you on the next one, gang gang. Bye.